Hello, my name's Drew Gardner, and today I'm here to recreate a portrait of the land speed record icon Malcolm Campbell with his grandson, Don Wales.
Accompanied by Lady Campbell, whose support and sympathy must be counted among the natural advantages with which he has been blessed. 12 years ago, the record stood just under the 150th, and after this period of time it seems obvious that Captain Campbell would easily capture it, as indeed he did, with a speed of 150.86 miles an hour.
He was just smitten by speed and wanting to be the world's fastest man. He had this immense bravery. He was very patriotic. He loved his country. But motorsport was his driving force, and world records became his addiction, if you like, or breaking the record 9 times on land, 4 times on water. But I mean, he was just an immense character.
What does it feel like to sort of step into your grandfather's shoes?
I've always wanted to be involved with motorsport. There was no way that I could emulate my grandfather or my uncle. You know, their achievements are so high up there. But I just thought if I could add one record to the family list, then I would be happy. I held the electric car UK record for about 12 years. My aim was always to try and beat my grandfather's record on Pendine Sands, but in an electric car. The electric car was how I started. I then got invited to be the test driver for a British-based steam car world record attempt, and spent 10 weeks on the Mojave Desert trying to get a steam car to work in extreme heat. But we got a world record. Charles Burnett, whose car it was, broke the record at 139 miles an hour. And Charles, being the generous character that he was, he said, "Don, to say thank you for all your hard work, tomorrow either break my car or break my record." And we had an unofficial record of 145 to try and beat, and I got it up to 148.
You had another, shall we say, slightly more humorous, but you said a little bit scarier record.
And I got invited by Stephen Vokins to be the driver of a ride-on lawnmower for his project. And it was quite scary, because I mean, this thing is just like my grandfather. I had no seat belts. The only thing keeping me on the machine was holding onto the steering wheel and my knees up against the bodywork. And apparently I did take off and flew for about 10 feet at 90 odd miles an hour.
But what about the shadow of speed that's been cast on your family? What's the result of that?
You're right, there was always this shadow. I mean, my grandfather started this family, if you like, down this track. His son, Donald, carried on the family mantle, knowing that his father was this huge character, world famous, and achieved so much. So Donald was always living in that shadow, and as he was a direct descendant of Sir Malcolm, he, I think, felt this weight on his shoulders that he had to perform and achieve something similar to what his father had achieved. Whenever he would break a record, and he broke records in total, 7 water speed records and 1 land speed record, during the celebrations he would say, "Do you think my dad would have been proud of me?" Which is a hell of a thing to say when you've just become the fastest man on water or on land. So he no doubt felt his father's presence and shadow. For me, I wanted to break a record, but not at all costs.
So what's the Campbell's legacy today?
Well, I mean, our family are responsible for quite a few things that we take for granted today, I think. My grandfather is partially responsible for the invention of the crash helmet. He realised that Donald was very clumsy and needed a crash helmet, so he didn't wear it himself. And Donald is responsible for promoting seatbelts in motor cars. He had his life saved by a seatbelt and helped promote them.
He was the first man to drive over 300 miles an hour. If you'd like to step in this way.